Welcome back to the onX Offroad Build Challenge, where 3 teams are fighting for a spot in this year's ultimate adventure. Last time, our teams took their stock vehicles as far as they could make it up Moab Rim. Team Dumpster Fire was the last team to try their hand at Moab Rim. You can see how far each team made it up the trail by downloading the onX Offroad app and following their route.
For the onX Offroad Build Challenge, we chose a Lexus LX450. It's essentially a Land Cruiser 80 series, which is legendary. It's the reason that so many people think Toyotas are great is because of these trucks specifically. The Land Cruiser did amazing, honestly, for what it is. It's a big, heavy, old, like luxury SUV that's open, but with opening up its ability to flex, we're able to work it up there as far as it would go. I was able to navigate through everything up to Devil's Crack pretty well, I think. We scraped in all the places you'd expect it to. The steps on the side are pretty low. The trailer hitch is pretty low. Once we made it up to Devil's Crack, it struggled as much as I figured. And it was a pretty fun experience to take something so stock up a trail like that.
I don't care about the bumper.
Hey, Ed's out and who's in? We're going to Seattle. We're in the Pacific Northwest, known for tall trees, fishing, the birthplace of grunge music, and coffee shops. Washington is home to 124 state parks and over 40 million visitors a year. onX Offroad has over 12,000 miles of trails mapped in the state of Washington, but we're here to visit Nate, who's working on his suspension and the front bumper for his Lexus/Toyota, and to meet his new teammate.
We're here at my shop in Tacoma, Washington. So far, the build plan has been, it's a pretty good recipe, I feel like. It's just upgrade a lot of stuff that already exists and then hopefully finesse my way through and drive nice to keep it alive. I started this competition with one partner, my buddy Ed, love the guy to death. He had a giant opportunity career-wise that he had to take. So we let Ed off the hook. I called my buddy Dave. He was very excited to jump in, and now Dave and I are gonna throw a bunch of hours at this and then go have fun and hope that everything holds together.
It seems like a really good fit. I also have been on Ultimate Adventure 11 times now, so I know there's gonna be some heated discussion about bringing in the Goocher, the guy that's supposed to like save the day on this build, but that's not me, man. Nate's gonna win the competition. I'm just here to build cool stuff on this rig. Over the past few years, I was on a TV show called Dirt Every Day on Motor Trend. We got to build some of the wildest rigs that you've ever seen. I mean, a Toyota-based monster truck, a motorhome on 44s. Nowadays, I'm just working out of my backyard in my shop, and I'm doing a YouTube channel called The Dirthead Shed.
So far, most of what I've done has been body work. I was originally thinking I would do a wrap, but it's so expensive. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a traditional paint job. I've got a Toyota paint code that I'm gonna use for something that's really loud that I think a lot of Toyota fans are gonna appreciate. I wanna finish building the front bumper, home-built rear bumper, home-built sliders, you know, keep the costs down and just use all these tools that I've got in here. Then we're gonna be upgrading a lot of the existing parts. We're gonna gear everything as low as we can to overcome this super tall first gear, and then throw some lockers in it and throw some 39s at it and try to make everything fit. I'm dying for things that are not mundane, and I love stuff that's loud. And so I picked a color combo that's gonna be really loud on this. The blue wheels fit in so perfect. As soon as I saw that Method offers the bead grip in a blue wheel, it was a done deal. The bead grip, I've never been secret about it. The bead grip has been my favorite wheel for the last year, ever since I've been using them. And so that was a must, but seeing that it was offered in this blue was just icing on the cake.
Nate took advantage of the onX Offroad Elite member discount to purchase Method Race Wheels bead grip wheels. It isn't just the teams that get this discount. If you're building a vehicle for outdoor adventure, make sure to sign up for the onX Offroad Elite program and get some great discounts on some of the biggest names in the off-road aftermarket.
This is a contest where people have to vote in order for you to win. So it's very important for you to look good so that you get the votes of the people who might not be Toyota fans. But you can overcome that by maybe giving it a sweet paint job, making it look nice and clean. And I do think that we're gonna be in budget, but I know I wanna push this as close as possible. Hopefully we don't have any surprises that make us go over.
Like Nate said, the teams have a budget of $15,000 to purchase and build their vehicles. So I walked around with Nate and Dave and got an idea of how and where they spent their money.
Look at this thing. This is a factory transmission cooler for this rig. These vehicles were so overbuilt from the factory. That is why these things are seen all over the world. So even if this thing might be underbuilt in the gearing department, it's overbuilt everywhere else, which I think will lead to a really good competitive vehicle in this challenge as well as Ultimate Adventure.
So far, Nate and Dave have spent $4,000 on the truck, $500 on tires, $1,100 for their Method bead grip wheels, $600 on headlight, snorkel, and wheel adapters, $200 for a 1-inch lift, $1,000 for their RCV front shafts, $1,050 for their RCV rear shafts, $700 on paint and body, $300 for a Barnes four-wheel drive steering kit, tubing for everything was right around $350, shocks for all four corners, $600, $1,200 for transfer case parts, $1,300 for a 3-link kit, tail lights were $100, gears $1,500, and then ram assist steering at $200, giving them a grand total spent so far of $14,700.
All right, so we got the Land Cruiser in here. Winch plate is on. Nate did a rad job on that. We just did a little spacer lift on the suspension. We pulled shocks and we loosened up some bolts, so this thing's really able to flex out right now.
I'm kind of rolling back some of my build plans. I'm wondering, I want to bounce this off you. You and I had talked about doing 3 links front and rear.
Yeah.
We could save budget and we could save time by just rolling with what's in here and just maybe gusseting up some thin materials and whatnot.
I think this stuff is all good to go. This suspension is tried and true. It's been around for a million years. So if we just like beef it up to where it's not gonna bend when we drop it on a rock, I think this thing's golden. So check this out. This is a factory radius arm. Toyota front end radius arms are notorious for like basically acting as a sway bar. As one side drops down, it's just taking up bushing movement in order to stop flex. So Nate came in here and he pulled this bolt out. This is like an old Land Cruiser trick where you pull the bolt out and it allows one side to be fixed, but the other side to be able to move around. This is a really cool trick on these rigs to get massive amounts of travel. I think the rear suspension, we need to build lower links that are at least like, you know, the standard like 2-inch 250 wall round tube so that they can take a beating because it will drop on a rock.
The more I've thought about it, and as close as we're getting our budget now to that total 15 grand, it's like being able to free up the link kits that's just budget we can put in places that we maybe weren't planning to before.
I think that Nate has gone at this a very unique way. He's really kind of focused on spending a lot of money on the vehicle up front with a lot of really good parts underneath it. The problem with his package, him and Dave and their plan, is you honestly never know what's going to be thrown at you on UA. Yeah, that truck is borderline what we would call nowadays a rock lander, so rock crawler / overlander, but it's gone a little bit lightweight in the rock crawling department. I think where that vehicle may come into trouble will be if we throw a hardcore rock crawling trail at that Toyota in this competition. I think they're going to be challenged a little bit more than some of the other teams, because honestly, I mean, when you think about it, Holly and Rudy have a V8 full-sized 1-ton pickup truck. Yeah, they may get body damage, but they've got wheelbase and size on their side. Matt and Colt from Bleepin' Jeep, they have a super tiny little S10 that costs $1,200. They don't care if they write the body of that truck off trying to get up a trail. Nate has spent so much time on the bodywork on that Lexus. I think when it comes to body damage, I think he may hold back a little bit, which might cost him in the end on this competition. But only time will tell when we see what happens when we all show up back in Moab in July. So if you think that Nate and now Dave, his new partner, have what it takes to take on Ultimate Adventure in their Lexus 450, head on over to onX Offroad and vote for Team Dumpster Fire.